What's up, everybody? It's your boy Coach T with Chicago Bears 360, back with another live recording for you today. Listen, we got my boy Sean Sierra, super back Sierra on the show today. I got to get my words together, man. It's been a long day. Listen, we're just talking Bears football, talking Booger McFarland controversy, man. All the Bears Twitter going crazy today. Listen, we're gonna have some fun with it though. I'm gonna tell y'all now. I don't know how this is going to go, man. I don't know if it's going to go the way y'all think it's going to go. We're going to get into that and so much more. Y'all know what's next. Do me a favor, like, share, but also cue the intro maestro. Let's go. Let's slide.
Life like chess move to pieces, you know I roll in silence. On the road to them Benjis, I fill my teeth with diamonds. The Lord done put me through some tests so I can learn my lesson. They take advantage when you cool, I can't control aggression. We go back and forth talking, so who we really blaming? Tell me to change, I'm not myself, and then you start complaining. Can't understand your situation if you had a main. But you cost me for some shots, we barely knew it.
And just like that, we're back, Bears fans. Listen, y'all bear with me as I deal with a few technical difficulties. I don't know why I'm lagging on my end. What up, Sean?
What's up, Coach T?
My man, thanks for joining last minute on the show, man. Listen, I was thinking about somebody I could call, you know what I'm saying, who I can get join the program today. Today, out of today's show, Sean, the Shane effect, because I think there's so much emphasis that Bears fans are putting on Caleb Williams. And I've said this repeatedly in other shows, man, that, you know what I'm saying, it's not so, and I'm going to go off screen.
He went off screen, but I'm still here, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about it. And Shane does have a huge effect.
Yeah, I did that. I went off screen for a little bit. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm lagging a little bit, but we'll get it together. All has to do with Shane for me. It's the total, you know, focus of the season has everything to do with Shane for me, right? And I know Bears fans are excited. I get it. You know what I'm saying? We got a rookie first-round quarterback, Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and stuff like that. But I'm trying to, in my estimation, in my opinion, not save Bears fans from disappointment that, you know, Caleb will not be a success. But I think for a lot of fans, they don't respect the process. They don't respect the development process of a quarterback. And I think that played as well into a lot of people's reaction to Booger McFarland's take as well, too. Now, I'm going to play the clip in a minute, or have Julius play it in a minute. I don't agree with the tail end of, you know, what Booger said and how he left off on his take, where he was talking about, you know, the Bears regretting potentially that they didn't take Jayden over. But I'm not going to come off of my take of where I said towards the end of last season, throughout the end of the season, that Jayden was a more NFL-ready quarterback. And I believe he will probably get off to a better start because of the learning curve for Caleb Williams. But I don't believe he'll have a better career if Shane does his job. If Shane does his job, if Shane quiets the noise, if he kills the demons of the Bears organization can't develop quarterbacks, all the narrative around that, then Caleb will be everything the Bears organization and fans expect him to be. What say you, Mr. Sierra?
Yeah, I agree. You know, I agree. And it's unfortunate that the last couple of quarterbacks that we've had have dealt with rookie play callers. All right. That, to me, that doesn't seem to make sense. Okay. You get a rookie quarterback and a rookie play caller. So you're both learning on the job. So the development part at that particular point is bothersome to me. All right. And Shane has shown that he's been able to work with a couple of quarterbacks. He's able to work with Russell Wilson. He's able to work with Geno. All right. And got Geno a big old contract. Okay. Contract extension. So it's obvious that he knows how to tailor his offense to the skill set of his quarterback. Now he just has to see what the skill set of his quarterback, Caleb Williams, is, and tailor the offense around that. Now, I think he can do that. And the one thing about Shane Waldron is he uses what he has. He's got 2 tight ends. He can go 12, maybe 13 personnel. Okay. 23 personnel if he wants. You know what I mean? If necessary, we're in a short yardage situation. We're going 23 with the, so he can do what's required with the talent that he has. So I'm excited for him. And I think there's a couple ways that Shane needs to go with this in order to make sure that Caleb develops into a very good to great quarterback. Again, we can't expect him to lead this team to the Super Bowl this year. We can't expect him to get a yellow jacket this year, right? It does take time, and people here are very, very impatient with that. All right, the development is key. To go from college to pro is a huge step, regardless of the fact that he is a Heisman Trophy winner. That's a huge, huge step. So if Shane does what I have it in my outline. We'll talk about it later, I'm sure, what I think Shane should do. But as long as he takes it incrementally, and Caleb is okay with that, then I think then it's a pretty, really, really, really good match.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Julius get back to the clip because I want to make sure that I want to break down this tape because again, Dan Orlovsky been saying this. I've been saying it the whole offseason. There's a subtle difference. There's a gap. There to me, there's like a year or 2 gap between those 2 quarterbacks, and I respect. And I recognize also the LSU bias that might creep into, that part of it. But I just don't understand, or I didn't understand. I get it. I get it, the outrage. But at the same time, I don't get it. Roll the clip, Julius, and we're going to speak on it a little bit. We're going to have fun with it.
What we had last year. Guys, there's some validity to what both Dans are saying, but don't be surprised if midway through the season, we're having a conversation very similar to what we had last year, meaning the number 2 pick, Jaden Daniels, looks better than the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams. Just like we had last year with C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, because there are a lot of people out of Washington telling me that this young man, Jaden Daniels, not only does he look the part, his teammates know he looked the part. And I think Caleb Williams is going to struggle, and I think Jaden Daniels is going to come out the gate flying. And we're going to have this conversation, Greeny. Mark it down, July the 16th, whatever it is, it's 100 degrees. Did the Chicago Bears make the right pick? We're going to have this conversation again.
So I'm glad. I just want to play that because I think we need to recognize a few things. One, just like any parent of quarterback that were drafted in the NFL draft 1 or 2, these guys tied at the hips. They're going to be compared and contrast throughout their careers, right? But I also, for Bears fans, I don't want you to get alerted or be on alert if indeed Booger's right that Jaden comes out on fire, because I've shared the platform with some Commanders fans because of the whole draft, lead up to the draft scenario. And I've heard some things coming out of Commanders camp as well. And he's looking the part. And you're hearing that the rookies, the head coach, and everybody is being impressed by his ability to come in and just play ball, which I'm not surprised to hear. And I don't deny, or I would expect throughout the season, to Booger's point, that us to hear the conversation at some point that, hey, boom. At the same time, I expect week 14, 12 to 14, 12 to 16, for us to hear also that, you know what? Caleb's taking off. He's starting to separate himself. He's doing things with the football in his hands, and for this football at the end, football team at the beginning or at the end of games, he's starting to take over games in a way and making throws that Jaden can't. The other thing I expect to see and experience with this football team because of Shane is for us to experience better overall football play and success. I'm going to bring that one back to you, Sean, and get your take on it and see how you feel about that as well. And specifically, what are we missing? What are we being kind of emotionally crippled by, and when it comes to, I don't understand the reaction, and maybe it's just me.
We're talking bad about our people, or they're not talking good about our Bears. That's where people get a little crazy. We're a star success.
They never do though.
Right, you're right. They don't. Not nationally. And we have to take our respect, and there's only one way to do that, and we got to win. But people are going to get crazy. And here's when you want a narrative to work for you, you bend the rules and you make the rules as they go along. So, for example, if 1 year from now, like Booger said, if Jaden Daniels outplays Caleb, and he's like, well, the Bears make the right decision. Well, you can't make that determination after 1 year.
That great point. I was going to just you took the words right. I was going to say you won't be able to even make that estimation after year one. What are we talking about? You won't be able to tell that even after year one.
Yep, it's got to be after a couple of seasons when they finish rounding everything out. When the quarterback gets comfortable in this system, when he can master this system, then you can say, okay, right. Now they're both playing comfortable. Now they've both been 3 years in the same system. Now let's see where they're at. And then it's contingent on personnel too. I mean, if they keep right. these 3,000-yard receivers and a running back and these tight ends, well, you have a lot more weapons to go to than you might in Washington. I'm not saying Washington doesn't have weapons. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you might have more weapons in Chicago, and that also helps out. Then who's going to be calling plays in Washington? Who's going to be calling plays? Just because some people think Jaden Daniels is better now. Who's the play caller? Is the play caller going to leave and get another job, another head coaching gig? Or not even that, but is that same system going to be implemented when that play caller leaves? Because it's already set, and they've set up Caleb for success, where they already have the offensive coordinator Shane Waldron. Okay, then you have the passing game coordinator, who was also interviewed for offensive coordinator. Okay, in Brown. Okay, so if Shane decides to leave, well, you got a guy who's been here, who's come. So you're probably going to keep the same system. Maybe a little different terminology. All right. So you can't make that. You can't say that. But again, people say stuff all the time. It's a hot take, and, just to get people talking and fired up. And, that's what they do. But yeah, you literally can't make that determination until 2-3 seasons in.
Yeah. I was wondering where the outrage was when Dan said it in the offseason. Like, it was like no surprise. But to your point, I like a few things that we've done. We got Shane there. We got the passing game coordinator, I believe his last name, Brown, to succeed him, to keep the system in place if Shane moves on. For those reasons, and I would take Shane any day. It just maybe is me. I don't know if you have a different opinion. I would take Shane over Cliff Kingsbury. Style of play, fit for the city, right? You know what I'm saying? You're talking about Chicago. We're still playing at Soldier Field. So we're going 21 personnel. We're going to run the ball and play good defense. I said this in the last show. Surprise, we're here again. We got a rookie quarterback, and we're expected to play great defense and run the ball and develop a quarterback. The more things change, the more they change, the more they stay the same. But I think Shane is the X factor in all of this. What specifically do you believe he has to do just with Caleb alone to ensure that he begins to separate himself? And then part B to that question is, when do you believe that starts to happen?
First thing he's got to do, he's got to have a conversation with Caleb and get his mind right. They got to be on the same page. And he's got to say, look, we're going to run the ball the majority of the time. And you're going to be a master at the short to intermediate passing game. When you get dominant or masterful at the short to intermediate passing game, in addition to the run game, that opens everything else up. So we're going to run the ball. All right, we're going to get some slants, we're going to get some hitches, get some cross underneath crossers. All right, some quick outs, some curls, something to that nature. We got to get that down where you can literally take your 3 or 4 or 5 3 steps and throw to an area, and you're probably going to hit your receiver blindfolded because you're so used to what they're going to do. That's how that short to intermediate passing game has to develop. And then as far as the run game, they're going to rely heavily on it. All right, you got 3 studs in there in that backfield, and the best thing is that so you don't put pressure on Caleb. We're not asking you to take us to a Super Bowl. We're not asking you to take us to the NFC Championship game this year. Now, if it happens, great. But that's not the expectation. The expectation is I need you to understand that I need you comfortable. You throw a lot of the kid, it's fine, but you also want to say, hey, listen, we're still trying to win games here. You know what I mean? You're not saying, okay, sit back, throw 40 times and win us a game. No. We're still trying to win games. We're still trying to develop. And that's not how you develop an offense, is having a quarterback go back 40 times when you have a stable of good to very good running backs that you can hand off to and take the pressure off. So Shane's got to understand that he's got to rely on that running game. Okay. And we've seen he's no stranger. He ain't scared. He ain't scared to go 2 or 3 tight ends. He's not. Okay. And I hope he does. I hope he does go. I hope we do go 23 personnel. Tight end in motion. Boom. Lead up.
Absolutely.
Or you know me, man, hell with a tight end. You give Tyree Carter, backup offensive guard. He reported eligible. Remember, I got all that from that last year.
Hey, Sean's a big fan of the jumbo package, as we learned during last season in the press conference. The infamous kind of interaction with Justin Fields he had there. Here's a question.
Coach, what did they do though? Next week it was 3rd and 1. All of a sudden, a lineman. I don't know if it was Larry Borum reported as eligible, and 3 people in the press box were like, "Oh snap! They listened to you." I said, "Well, because I know
see that's what I'm saying." Listen, man, this is what's funny about that whole situation. Actually, and this is why y'all should be fans of the channel, because guess what? Both of us. By the way, find Sean over at Sports Zone Chicago. We'll put his info up. I'll let him talk about that in a minute. But this is why y'all should be fans of having football people in the room, the reporting room, and all that other stuff to ask football questions, because there's a certain level of details that I feel like we're sometimes missing in the reporting room. A couple follow-up questions to those, right? You know what I'm saying? And I want the chat to answer this too. What week, right? And when I think about this, I have the whole Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur. I'm having an old man. I'm going to get Matt LaFleur. I have the Matt LaFleur kind of trajectory or game plan or development plan in mind when I say this. What week do you guys expect to see the part where, okay, it goes from what you just described in, heavy 21 personnel, run the ball, 2 tight end sets, take shots, play action, roll out, outs, hitches, slants, all that stuff too. Hey, let's open this thing up and allow Caleb to show us what we can do, what he can do. What week do you expect to see where he takes off and becomes the real leader of franchise, face of the franchise in terms of owning that position? He's done everything, in my opinion, right off the field and leading up to things so far. But as far as on the field production, what do you feel like, the week where we should start to see some things? Give me like a window, and I'm interested in seeing.
I just pulled up the schedule, so because I know exactly what week I'm expecting it. I'm expecting it. We got it
here too.
I got it week 8.
Yeah,
I got it week 8. You know why? Because it's after week 6. Okay, after week 6, all right. You should have 6 weeks is a good amount of time for you to get it, not where it's going to be in 2 years. No, of course not. But to get a really good grasp on it. All right. Where we're knocking the hell out of people with running the ball. Our defense is coming up, giving us short fields. All right. The jump balls to Keenan Allen in the back of the end zone. All right. To the DJ. There's a lot you can develop in 6 weeks. About it is that we don't have a lot of teams that will exploit us if we screw up. Okay, Houston might. I'm not sure about Tennessee. I don't think they can exploit us as bad as if we screw up week 1. Houston might be able to, but it's still early in the season. So that's a question mark. Indianapolis again, still how's Richardson going to be? All right, he sat out all last year. It was at a redshirt year. That's another question mark. The Rams, maybe. Carolina, hell no. Jacksonville, no. All right, so those first 6 games, I think we can do a lot. We establish the run game, really build and work on that short to intermediate pass, and then Washington, Arizona, and New England, weeks 8, 9, and 10 is when you take at least one of the training wheels off. At least now you can go intermediate to deep. Because I still think you're going to take shots throughout the game. Of course, you can't just not throw short. You can't not throw deep in an NFL game, of course. But I think there's going to be a lot more symmetry, a lot more chemistry, a lot more comfortability, a lot more familiarity with those guys. Okay, after those first 6 weeks, then you get the bye. Now you get to go back and look at what do we do good? What do we do well in those first 6 weeks? Okay, good. The run game's good. Here's what teams like to do. Self-scout. I think week 8 is when you really start to see them taking the training wheels off, and you start to see some stuff, some Bears offense we haven't seen since Cutler, Marshall, and Bennett.
Yeah, and so I want to ask somebody else their opinion of that question, because I had a week 12, like I said, week 12 to 16. I don't understand. I know a lot of people, think, I'm not a big Caleb guy, but I'm a big football guy. I'm a big development guy, and understanding the nuance of having to get a guy prepared and get him and all the stuff that he has to learn, especially coming from where he came from. So, you're talking about week, Washington would be a great opportunity to go out there and okay, especially with this particular conversation. Okay, the number 1 and number 2 pick. Let's let them battle it out a little bit, right? Let's let them
from DC. So what? Now you get to go back home and show out in front of your peoples.
Yeah, no, let's do it. Let's open it up a little bit, and let's see what the kid has. I see. I want to acknowledge the comment real fast. Brian said, "Greg is not afraid to ask tough questions." Yeah, no, I get it. You talking about is he talking about Bragg's? Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but what I want to hone in.
He's talking about me. So when that's why you can't come on other people's thing and use inside things, right? But last year. Remember, did you call me this past season when they were talking about me on the score, when they were talking to
I called you that night.
Yeah, and there was like, yeah, you're on, and Mark Grody's like, yeah, because they asked about the question. Justin said, first time he asked me a positive question, I'm gonna be happy or whatever. And they're like, I don't know his name, I don't know who that is. And they asked Grody, like, you're there, Grody? He goes, yeah. So he said, yeah, he introduced me as his name was Greg. And then toward the end of the segment, his name is Sean. And so everyone's calling me Greg, which is
Big Greg. The super back.
I'm on the road, it's Greg. In Chicago, it's Sean. Chicago's Sean, but when I'm on the road, it's Greg.
No. And then this is what I said in previous shows. Again, you know what I'm saying? It makes a difference when we're giving out those elongated play calls and you having to recite those over and over again. And then we're knowing the fact that Caleb's going in on the wristband. It's gonna matter. He has to master it off to the point where, okay, reciting the play and going out there and just playing ball, playing free, saying, I know, what the formation, what the blocking scheme is, what the route combination is, where I should know where the holes are versus certain coverages, the protection adjustments, the checks. How much are they going to give them checks? When are they going to give them checks? You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna give them a lot early, coach. I don't know if they're going to give them a lot early. You know what I mean?
And you're absolutely right. And that part factors in to the big scheme of a football it is, because if they're not giving them checks early, okay, so if I go out there and I go 2 tight end set, 21 personnel, and everybody in the stadium knows this is the mid zone, outside zone, end zone, and they go 9, load the box with 9, and they didn't give them checks. Now what? What are the fans going to say then if he doesn't have the checks? Are they going to blame Caleb
don't know what
Williams?
he's doing. He's, our fans though. They're going to jump.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to prepare the fans, because again, it's good when we talk about football in macro level terms and nuanced terms and media terms. But when you get somebody like the two of us, you know what I'm saying, and we start getting into the details and we start describing scenarios. All right, we come out 21 personnel, right? Everybody, it's first down. We know historically, or not historically, but if they scout the team and realize, okay, Shane is coming out, he's loving to running the ball on first downs, and we come out 21 personnel sets, right? And they know they don't have that level of comfortability with the quarterback yet. They walk 9 down in the box and they leave the back end open, and there's no checks in. This happens in 4K. It's happening in real time, and there's no checks in. What are we doing? The fans, what's going to happen is when we run the ball in that situation and we take a loss, right? We run the ball for a loss. They're going to be like, oh, the O-line sucks. You're not watching the strategic part of the game. You're watching it from a tactical standpoint. You're only diagnosing the results. Oh, we suck. We can't run the ball. Are you counting the number of men in the box? Mm-hmm. Are you counting the number of safeties to see who's back? Are you paying attention to how much he's checking on, week 1, week 2? Are you noticing that stuff on film when you're breaking down film that, hey, you know what I'm saying, we just walked up. Oh, he just made a check right there. He just checked to a different play, right? Yep. I mean, I think the go ball should be in. You just tell them. I think that's an easy thing. You know what I'm saying? You come up, you see, you don't like, hey, DJ, somebody check to a 9 route and let's do it. Let it fly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. Even if you don't complete it, you know this, Sean. Even if you don't complete it, you check to, hey, if you don't like something, Caleb, come up, check to a go ball, right? Check to a 9 route, check to a play, put in a play where there's play action 9 route, right? Even if you don't complete it, it still does something to the opponent, to the defensive coordinator, made him respect the fact that you will go over his head. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay attention.
Keep him honest.
Right. So with Shane, right? With Kerry, I got to throw Kerry in there too. Throw my boy Kerry in there too. You know what I'm saying? What specifically, you know what I'm saying, are they implementing early on in this offense to say, okay, this is what it is. This is how we're going to keep you out of trouble. This is how we're going to keep you safe. What specifically did Matt LaFleur do that you think with Jordan Love that you think we can learn from? And because I thought it was a masterful job in getting him from week 1 to week 18. And now they're talking about it once again. That damn team up in Boone Screw, Egypt, they're talking about they might have another one, man. I can't stand that.
I don't know how much Matt LaFleur had to do with it. All right. But when you sit behind a first ballot Hall of Famer for 3 years, not 1 or 2, for 3 years. Okay. I don't know if there's anything Matt LaFleur could have done that Aaron Rodgers didn't show, if not talk to Jordan Love, okay, and teach him any better. All right.
Right.
Just when you watch. So what Matt LaFleur did, yeah, I don't know. I think more of that would fall on Rodgers, but also Jordan Love watching what Rodgers does, watching how he manipulates defenders, watching how he moves people or holds people. Okay, watching how he notices blitzes and especially the people who are trying to time blitzes and they show their hand a half a second too early, and he notices it and exploits them. So I think more so it might be more of an Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yeah.
But he had people he can go to. All right. I mean, Christian Watson. I mean, that was the dude I wanted the Bears to get him, and Green Bay snagged him at North Dakota State. Wasn't it first play of the season? He dropped back. Aaron Rodgers dropped back, and he dropped it. He toasted the cornerback. Would have been a 75-yard touchdown pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's stuff like that you learn. I think it's I think to keep Caleb, I think you really got to. I'm going to go back to what I said. I'm going to stand on it. I think it is the most important thing to get him so comfortable with this short to intermediate passing game, because that's going to save his ass a lot. All right. A 3-yard out, a quick in, something like that. When a blitz is coming and he didn't see, boom, got it. Tackle.
Which all intents and purposes, he can do that stuff. He should be able to do it very well, right? Calling it at a higher
class level. Can he do it? But he's got to do it now at this level.
Yeah. I mean, it's well documented. The percentages I threw out there is how much he did it. I mean, I'm talking about actually raw making the throws themselves and putting the ball in the right spot with velocity and getting that ball up and down so he can move the chain, keep things going. I don't foresee, and you made a good point I want to go back to about the Jordan Love experience. I do believe Matt LaFleur, because his route combinations is crazy. Like, if you watch it, how he strings together route combinations to just have scheme people running wide open is next to him and Bobby Slowick, which, these guys are kind of familiar, and all of them kind of come from the same kind of coaching framework, coaching tree, if you will. The way they route people open or scheme people open is crazy. But I think what you said about him sitting, right, Jordan Love sitting, kind of coincides with what I was saying about the development part for Caleb, and how the Bears situation always finds itself kind of at 3rd and 10 when it comes to the development part of it, and why fans should be patient, which to me, I think lends itself to a lot. It's not sexy football offensively to me. I don't think early on the football, it should be sexy. It will be sexy. I can't see a whole lot we do. Like, it's going to be great football. I believe Shane can call games where it'll be great football, where we move the chains. We have long, sustained drives and stuff like that. But it's like, if it's sexy football, it almost lends itself to being too gimmicky and therefore, not productive. A la Luke Getsy. What's our guy was here before him? Calling play
Matt
coach.
Nagy.
Matt Nagy. Like, the overly sexy offensive football is not what we want to see. Like, what are you you're the offensive coordinator for the Bears, right? Aside from the personnel grouping, what are you doing? What I'm saying? You're back there behind Caleb. What do you want to run? What are you trying to
Here's what I want, Coach. I want to set a tone. I want to set an aggressive tone. Okay. With that, it's going to be initially running the ball. All right. And then again, I'm going to go back to what I said, and I'm not veering off it one iota. I want that short passing game to be killer, where it's 3rd and 2, you get 2.5, and the defense like, damn. All right. It mentally takes them out. You know why? Here's why the short passing game is so important. Okay. Because you can go, you keep hitting this slant, okay, or you keep hitting this quick out, or you keep hitting this curl, you keep hitting the 5-yard in. All of a sudden, you're gonna start to jump that. All of a sudden, now it's not gonna be a slant, it's gonna be a sluggo. It's gonna slant and go. Now you build off of that, and now you really got a defense on their back. So when you get that short passing game down, it opens up everything. It puts the defense, because now they have to respect it. They have to respect that. And when they cheat, and you're gonna see them cheat, you'll see them cheat. Yeah. Right? They might come up, and just miss an interception. All right. Or you see them maybe not just miss an interception, but you see the feet, the toes, the feet of a DB creeping. As an offensive coordinator, like, I got him. Now you run it again. Now it's a double move. Now it's something that they're not expecting. It's so much easier. So that's what I want. But again, I want them to be aggressive. And you can do that. You don't have to throw the ball down 50 yards downfield. That's not the only way to be aggressive. There's a lot more ways to be aggressive in the NFL and in football. And if Shane Waldron can maximize as many different ways, man. Because, man, as a defensive coordinator, I'll tell you, there's so many times where, like I said, it's 3rd and 2, they get 2.5, and it's like,
right, yeah, demoralizing.
demoralized. It takes a lot of the passion in the spirit out of you as a defense, especially late.
Take their heart.
Stop.
Yeah, so, take their heart. Like that's what I. So if you ask me the same question as an offensive coordinator, what I want to do is exactly that. I'm taking their soul. It's less about Caleb and it's more about our style of play for me. It's we go to these 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks or whatever we have leading up to the Senior Bowl. And for Matt Eberflus, I'm telling Shane Waldron, we need to establish a style of play that's physical up front. Period, point blank. The offensive line, defensive line, we're not saving anybody. We need to establish, because guess what? The game plan has to be we're coming out running the ball. We're going play action off, running the ball. We're slowly developing the kid, right? So we got to get off the bus running the ball. We got to be able to walk up to the line of scrimmage, point to the hole, and say, hey, we're running power through this gap. We're running inside, mid-zone, outside zone, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. So then it becomes a question of, does Matt Eberflus have that? Will he hold that kind of camp where because he's been there, the physicality besides the year one, where I think we led the league in rushing, Justin Fields' tenure, where there was a time where I felt like we were being super physical up front and we were dominating teams through our offensive line and we were owning teams and we were being the type of team that you were describing where we're demoralizing people, right? But then playing off of that, because again, style of play matters, right? Run the ball, eat up the clock, keep the clock running, play great defense. I want to lean into sophisticated comment right here, because I do believe Caleb will be fine, right? I do believe Caleb will be fine over time, though. Over time. And how teams choose the game plan against Caleb is highly predicated on our ability to do what I just described. Walk up to the line of scrimmage, point to a hole, and say, we're running this. Announce it to the stadium over the loudspeaker. We are running through the B gap. We're running through the 1, the 3, the 5 hole. There's 2, 4, 6. We're running it here, and there's nothing you can do about it. Defense, right? And we can still have success doing that. Yep. Because if we can't do that, and teams can force him, especially early on, weeks 1 through 8, and they can enforce him, they can force the offense into 3rd and long situations, then it won't look fine. It's not what you want to hear, but I'm telling you, it won't look fine. And we're going to have to scheme ourselves out of those situations.
Yeah, and what they got to do is they got to keep Caleb, ahead of the sticks. All right. I mean, you can't be, you mentioned it. You can't be 37.
That's the term.
All right. You got to be ahead of the sticks, man. Because 3 yards on first down is a great play. Anything more 3+ yards on first down is a great play. Anything more than 3 yards on a first down, man, you get 4, you get 5. Man, you know how wide open that playbook is? You can do so much. You can run or pass. But you get 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9. You're gonna run the ball? Yeah, probably not. All right. So
let me ask you this, Sean, because you play the position. Who's the second back? Because it can't be all on Swift, right? Swift. I like the combination that Swift gives you. He gives you a tough physical. He can run physical, and he can be shifty. He's a good and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. Yeah, but who's the second back off that in the lineup? You like Khalil?
Yeah, I didn't see enough of Robert Roshan Johnson. I was calling Robert Roshan Johnson last year. I thought he was a little too much. And this happens when you step up. I think he was trying to show how physical he was instead of just being physical. I think he ran the contact. I think he ran. There's a style of run. All right, when you're running the ball and you're looking for contact, you run differently as if you're trying to get a first down or score a touchdown. There's a different style of run. I think he wanted to show people that he was a tough back. Don't show people you're a tough back. People will know you're a tough back by the way you run. Like LaDainian Tomlinson never ran the hole looking for contact. He ran the hole, and if it was there, he initiated it and kept going. but he was trying to break it every time.
Is that youth? Is that youth at the running back position?
Yes,
I like it.
It's that look at me, I'm young. You know what I mean? That youthful thing, right? And you got some mentality. You know, you got to get smarter. You got to play smarter. That's what it is.
Yeah, I like it. I felt like Khalil didn't run tough enough at times. I feel like Khalil was shifty. But this is Chicago, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. You know Walter Payton ain't running out of bounds. He's not going away from contact. And I feel like if we go with, by the way, Shane likes big backs, by the way. Pause, no diddy. He likes big running backs. I feel like if we go with Swift and Roschon, the combo, it gives us a different dynamic than, you know what I'm saying? It gives you, okay, we didn't beat you to death with Swift for 3 quarters, and in the fourth quarter, if RJ runs like that, who wants to tackle that kid in the fourth quarter, running like that?
Also, I like the reason I like Khalil is, man, you get worn down with Swift, you know, and now you get another guy. I mean, he's similar to Swift in that he's a one-cut runner. Khalil Herbert is phenomenal for the outside zone. Inside, he made you one cut and he explodes. He's not overly physical, but man, if you don't get him after that cut, I mean, he explodes out of that cut. And I like that. And it's especially if you over pursue, he can cut back twice and boom, he's gone. And I like that. And I just still haven't seen as much of that ability to find the hole and exploit the hole and not try and exploit the defender.
Yeah. Now the vision, I would put his vision third in that group of running backs, right? As far as vision,
who's Khalil or Roschon?
Roschon's vision. But when we get to you know, December and January, and we're at Soldier Field outside, and it's the fourth quarter, it's quarter 3.5. I don't know too many safeties, corners that's coming downhill and wanna, you know, they're gonna wanna tackle this kid. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna want to tackle, you know, dealing with that punishment at that level. And again, Shane, you know, also, you know what I'm saying, Kerry's words, they're gonna run a lot of mid-zone, which, you know what I'm saying, says I'm not trying to get to the outside a whole lot. I'm trying to bang it up there. You got 3 rules: bang, break it back. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't see a hole, create one.
Yep.
If it's there, run through it.
That's why I like Khalil, because if Khalil see one, he'll bounce, he'll start right. It'll be inside zone to the right, and boom, he's all the way back in the C gap on the left side. And his speed is what I like. And I'm not saying that I dislike Roschon Johnson. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not. Roschon can, you know, here's the thing. He was a rookie. He's a rookie. Has he developed? Are they developing him? We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. What did he learn from his rookie season? What did it when you're watching film, you're watching tape, and what is the coach saying? Hey, you know, they got the running back coach. Like, look, here's where you're running too powerful, as opposed to more fluid and trying to get in with speed. Not saying he's got great speed, but he's got speed. So you know, you got to teach. You know, sometimes it could work at a lower level, and it might not work here. And sometimes you got to adjust. You have to adjust to the level of competition. And this is the best of the best. I know you played it. He played at Texas, where you're playing big schools, but all them schools ain't the NFL. So as long as he adjusts his game and develops, man.
Yeah. Now the blocking part is I see what Bear Truth Nine saying right here. And then the block part of Roschon's game is a very underrated part of his game. I want to be in the building so bad this season, because as we go throughout the season, I want to be able to provide nuanced questions for the fans and ask the specifics. And like my good friend Herb Howard taught me, you know what I'm saying? Ask questions to people like Shane Waldron to say, you know what I'm saying? How do you balance the need to develop a quarterback with, you know what I'm saying, responding to in-game contingency, having your contingency prepared in games, 2 teams taking or forcing him to play win games with his arm. Here's what my trepidation is, right? And I hate this for Bears fans, that this is about us. And this is while while I'll get criticism for it, and I'm okay with that, I don't give a damn this season. Y'all might as well get prepared for it. I'm telling y'all up front. In the end, you're going to see it's warranted. What I don't want to happen, because expectations aren't managed right properly, that fans turn on the kid, because football is a strategic game played tactically, right? So if you can't diagnose the fact that they're playing, and I'm being hyperbolic right here, they're playing with 10 men in the box and they're forcing Caleb to do things particularly he's not prepared necessarily to do. And it's not from a capability standpoint, arm zip, reading coverages, all these other things, right? They're just scheming him out of it right now, right? Then what? I want to be there to ask those questions of Shane and say, okay, how do you balance it? Because it's a very it's a crazy problem to have right now. Like it's a real challenge. It's real. I'm nervous because I know how we can be. And I'm like, bruh, if they start playing, and again, being hyperbolic, they start playing with 10 in the box and they say, we don't give a damn what you do. We're going to play with 9 in the box and force you to throw it over our head and throw it accurate and have a plan. We're going to force you to do something that we know you're not prepared to do right now, per se, air quotes, whatever. Then what? Now, I want you to answer this part and respond to not so much as a coach, as a football, but from a fan perspective, the psyche of the fan. What do we do? What should we do in terms of understand that? Can we help them prepare for that, or is it just ride the wave, man?
No, you can't. There's too many meathead fans. There's too many meathead fans that won't understand, and they're gonna pound the drum and say you should have kept Justin, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that, this guy's a bust, and this and this. You got to give them time, and you know there's just far too many meathead fans. And I mean, just look at the Civil War we just got out of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of casualties in that Civil War. A lot of friendships were broken and lost, and myself included. You know what I mean? But
that's crazy, man. That's crazy. We got friendships that busted behind football, man.
Yeah, and it's like don't even get me started on it, because and here's my thing is that we lost friendship over that we weren't really truly friends.
I told y'all, man, y'all can't. I said this before on the show. Y'all can't establish friendships over football anyway. That's crazy to me, because we root for the same team. Don't make we gonna be friends. We still have to have aligned morals, values, and principles. I could say I got about 2 people that I really, you know what I'm saying? I would be like, all right, man, we started friendships off of Bears football, but it has nothing to do with football. It has to do with the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we have similar experience, we have similar principles, you know what I'm saying? Just because you wear blue and orange, you know what I'm saying, doesn't our morals it's crazy to me. So
it is.
It's certain, but that's crazy as hell. But I want maybe I need to do better. But I'm also going to do this. Also, continue to do this. This is an education platform. I like to believe throughout the season, I want to be able to tell y'all, okay, it's working. It's not working because of this. You know what I'm saying? Or it's working because of that. But don't give up on it. Don't overhype it. This is why what scares me is the response to people like Booger right now lets me know this shit finna get ready to run off the trail. It's gonna run off the tracks. It's gonna run off the tracks early. You know what I'm saying? Y'all too passionate, too fast, too early. But and also, the fans ain't gonna have the patience.
They're trying to cover it because you got a lot of the Caleb cult, all right, who talked a lot of ish about Justin. Okay. And here's part of the Civil War. They talked a lot of ish about Justin, and here's one of the reasons that I fell out with so many people was because so many people, they parroted what other people said. Like this is not a thought of your own. Like I'm not gonna like you're coming talking all this nonsense, but this is not even your own thought. Like you're saying with this guy, how do you know this guy is right? You know, the greatest minds in football are wrong. Bill Belichick didn't win every single game he coached. Okay, look at his Cleveland tape. That'll tell you all it is. You know what I mean? So when you start parroting things, you know, it was one of the issues that I had with people was like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's it's unfortunate, you know, but that was the way part of the Caleb cult is we're going to win 5 Super Bowls, you're going to win 3 MVPs, blah, 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 blah. Like they're doubling down kind of maybe because they kind of have to because of all the issues they talked about Justin, okay, and all the things that they said about, well, this guy's generational, this and this and this, and you ask them, well, what's generational? Can you define it? You know, can you know, because I can show you 5 to 10 generational quarterbacks that were busts. So what's the difference? You know what I mean? And all the stuff that was talked a lot in. So I think a lot of the unhealthy expectations for year one are coming from the Caleb call because like he's going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Okay, but you got to understand it doesn't happen like that all the time. CJ Stroud situation was an anomaly.
Yeah, no. I mean,
so
the one thing I will give Caleb as far as situation is concerned is the situation is great. The offensive coordinator, who I love on film what he did and the fact that how he sensibly game plans, he calls plays. The number one thing I love about Shane, since the focus of the show is really about him, is he's sensible, and I love that he plays through the offensive line. And what I mean by that is what we described earlier is he calls plays to play through the offensive line. I'm going to set the tone first. I have to get you guys dominating up front, and then we have to be able to impose our will. That Detroit game, Seattle versus Detroit, he beat the shit out of them for the first quarter. Go back and watch the tape. I did a breakdown of Shane Waldron, comparing Shane Waldron to Luke Getsy, right, and how they approached the first 15 plays. Shane came out and said, listen, this is not going to be cute. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be cute. Somebody getting punched in the mouth today. That's our game plan is hit you in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson says, everybody's a tough guy till they get punched in the mouth. He said, okay, Detroit, y'all want to be the new big bullies in the NFC? I'm going to punch you in the mouth. That's why I said, if he just comes in and implements that game plan versus Detroit, we get both of those games. And if you go to the Green Bay game, a lot of people were upset at the end of the season last year. We lost Green Bay by 8 points. Green Bay goes to Dallas and bludgeons the Dallas Cowboys in Arlington, right? It ain't Dallas. They beat them, and ironically enough, in Arlington. They go down there and beat the dog shit. They go down there and beat the dog.
Boys.
Yeah. But see, this is what I'm saying. People were not paying attention to the nuance of the game and recognize, okay, they go down there and beat the hell out of Dallas in Dallas, beat them bad, but beat us by 8 points. Style of play counts, right? So they only beat us by 8 points. And if Luke can get us one drive that game, then possibly is a different outcome. So not expecting Detroit to be able to, if we play that physical style, be able to stand up to it. Minnesota, they got DUIs and all kinds of unfortunate incidents happening down there. I think they're totally distracted, and they got JJ. But then it becomes Green Bay. How do we play versus them? Style of play. And it's not. The mistake the Dallas Cowboys made, and I want your opinion is, I feel like the mistake the Dallas Cowboys made was they were like, okay, we got you got bullets in your guns, we got bullets in guns, so we're gonna make it a shootout. And I was like, wrong game plan. Take the air out of the ball, run the ball, and keep that offense off the field, and then see how you end up. I feel like that's.
I think I could agree. I think I agree with you on that one. I think that you try and go and shoot out, and the development of Jordan Love from week 1, the chemistry he had with Romeo Dobbs and Jaden Reed and Christian Watson, the chemistry that he had at the end of the year, so much greater than he had at the beginning of the year. And remember, he had some sense of chemistry there to start the season, but there was so much more in sync toward the end of the season. And you want to do a shootout with those guys? And now I don't know. I mean, you got one good corner, you can't cover 3 receivers, not in one play. And I think that's where you should have really attacked their defense. Found the weak spot. I think their defense was ripe to exploit, and they didn't do it. But a lot of times people don't do what's necessary. They don't take what's given to them.
Yeah.
Okay? They say, I'm going to win this way. My way works. Well, if your way isn't malleable or flexible, then your way just might not work, because it's all, you know as well as I do. NFL in sports in general is about matchups.
Yeah.
If you don't match up well, the team might not be better than you, but they match up well against you, they have a good chance. So you got to be flexible in getting to the end goal. You don't change the end goal, and that's a win. You just change the route and how to get there. So we're not going to throw 35 passes. We're going to run the ball 37 times this time.
Yeah.
Right? Force them to bring someone in the box. So now our passing game, which is pretty strong, and now we have an advantage because now they're taking people out of that secondary to stop the run, and now we still have an advanced passing game. So now you're over man. All right, you got 3. You're one down in the secondary. So those holes in the zone are a lot wider. You're stretching those soft areas, and all zones have a soft area. All right, excuse me. Those soft areas, they're a lot more accessible to quarterbacks and receivers and visible. So, yeah, it all depends on the day.
Underestimated too, Sean, is the signing of Keenan Allen, which I believe becomes our version of Travis Kelce for Caleb Williams. And if you're doing the whole Mahomes comparison, right, he becomes our Travis Kelce for Caleb Williams, because in those third situations where, and by the way, we've heard it for 2 years now. We've heard two quarterbacks say, "Oh, I didn't know how to read coverages." Listen, every quarterback in middle school, high school, in Texas and Florida knows how to walk up to the line of scrimmage and be able to predict what you in, especially after motion. But to be able to know how safeties are spinning live in 4K in game is the difficulty in reading coverages, right? And then having experience in your offense in doing that all on the fly is what's difficult. I believe Keenan Allen helps with that. I wanted to get to Bear Truth's comment here, right, about gradually bringing the pass play along. I wanted to address this because, Shane's comment was, when asked, how much of the install is done or what he's looking to do, his approach was it. And I agree with it. He's throwing as much stuff in as possible, right? And they might not run it all early, but he's throwing it in for familiarity because, again, during the season, install becomes more and more difficult. You only have so much time. Like, they're in the building, Tuesday, Wednesday. They got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They travel Saturday. Yeah, it's not the season during the season. Yeah,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of time for install during the season. But I like the approach. Throw as much stuff in there as possible. That, hey, when we come back to it, we can pick up on it and run for it and grow from it. I wanted to get to this because I forgot I had this clip. It was the conversation that somebody had. I can't remember her name. She was talking to Tevin Jenkins. She traveled with Tevin Jenkins while he was training. And Tevin was talking about the difference between the offense now, which I think I'm excited about, right? Think about the situation. The players are better. Better weapons around Caleb, better offensive coordinator, better teacher of the game. But these are the things that and this is why I say, guys, lean heavily on Luke Getsy because of situations like this. I just thought it fitting. But also, this is to debunk the statement that people were like, oh, yeah, and I know they were caping for Getsy because they just needed, you know what I'm saying? They needed somebody to, it was still the just as just horrible people out there. But this, I found this funny that I think her name, y'all can come back and tell me later. We'll figure out what her name in a second. All right.
But he did say that there were just some inconsistencies last year. And honestly, from context clues and from reading between the lines myself, it just sounds like a lot of that had to do with the leadership on the offense, meaning the coach. And so I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not positive that that's what he meant, but between telling me that the scheme is much more intuitive this year, by saying they understand it a lot more, and then by saying that it's unselfish, I think that all points back to the scheme itself and who was in charge of that scheme, and whether or not that was a product of Luke Getsy only working with one team, only working with one quarterback who perhaps didn't need a lot of coaching prior to his arrival in Chicago. I don't think it was malicious or intentional. It's just one of those things where when you have a guy like Shane Waldron that comes in with a track record of getting the most out of his quarterbacks and a system that works, you trust it a little bit more, I think.
This part we should be excited about.
Carmen
Say the name. Carmen.
Vitale.
I don't know why Carmen escaped me that fast. This is the part that I feel like Sean, that fans should be a part of, be excited of. I love hearing the word intuitive because, right, I think that's what offenses should be. Offenses should be easy to absorb, easy to process. Everything makes sense, right? Slide protection left is lightning because lightning comes from the sky. Is a pass play. Easy for the line to pick up, right? Lightning, I think the sky. I think move left. It's rain because rain comes from the sky. Move right. It should be intuitive, right? No different than you learning how a new program, an application on your phone. You should be able to open it up, download it, and go straight to work. You're only as good as your tools, as my dad says, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the part we should be excited about. Also, what shouldn't be overlooked is once this offense gets humming, we have the personnel to be multiple and play multiple styles, right? We can open it up with Rome, Keenan, DJ, and go 3 wide outs. But if y'all don't see Rome on the field and there's 2 tight ends out there, you know what I'm saying? Do you understand why he's not on the field? You know what I'm saying? You understand? Oh, why is Rome not on the field? There's 2 tight ends out there.
He's a first round pick. He needs to be out every single play. He needs to be out there. Why are they putting the first round pick on the side? Like, come on, man. You gotta. And this is why. We need to talk about it because fans won't. Listen. I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence, but I know fans will get mad. We know we need to come out and run the ball early on the season. Go 21 personnel. Well, if we go on 21 personnel, and I'll put it in form of a question. If we go 21 personnel, who are your wideouts? Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Which 2 are you putting out there?
DJ and Keenan. DJ and Keenan.
So can the fans tell me why Rome is not out there?
He should be because he's the number 1 wide receiver. He's a first round pick. He's got to be out there.
I'm not picking on him. I'm just saying I'm not mad at him. This is why I say can you tell me why? Because this is what I would do to my critics. Tell me why Rome is not out there, and what would you do different? And if we got to run the ball for Caleb to be successful early on, and 9 times out of 10, that's going to be 21, 22 personnel. Rome can't be on the field a whole lot. So y'all going to be mad at something. So Rome can't be on the field. It's going to have to be Keenan and DJ, and Rome's going to have to be the first wide receiver off the bench, or he's going to have to get some special teams reps, or something has to give. Somebody's not going to be happy about something. And for those that trying to figure out what I'm saying is 21 personnel is only 2 wide receivers on the field, 2 tight ends, 1 back, right? If we go 11 personnel, Rome can be out there with DJ and Keenan and Cole or Everett. Now y'all can play ball. But if we out there a whole lot in 11 personnel early on in the season, it's going to be a long season. It's gonna be a long season. What you guys say about that? I gotta flex a little bit because people think we be out here playing, man.
If you have, and Illini and McGee's talking about, I got a thing. No, he's not. His hand's not going to be forced. If it's again, and here's where discipline comes in. Here's where Coach Waldron and Coach Eberflus have to sit down in the offseason and say, look, here's what I'm trying to do. There's going to be times I need to run this ball. I need to run the ball. I need to give the illusion of running the ball for play action, because if we run the ball, I mean, football can be so simple. If we run the ball, play action is huge. If we establish a short to intermediate passing game like clockwork, then guess what? Double moves are huge.
Yeah.
I don't think his hand will be forced. So your question. So let me ask you this, Illini McGee. So you're going to take out DJ Moore? Are you going to take out Keenan Allen? Or do you want Roma Dunze to be a tight end and block? Because you're neither of the other wide receivers are. There's going to be a time where you're in 12 personnel. So you got one running back and two tight ends. Okay. And maybe you could have them out there. No, you can't even have them out there. 1, 2, 3. No, you have them out there. No, you can't, because you got the two wide receivers. So it's not. We got to
pick a style.
Yes, once you everything's developmental. And I wanted to go back, and I wrote down when we were talking earlier. And he's throwing a lot at the wall, but when it comes down, you need maybe 3 or 4 different packages that you're going to run for week 1.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to go over them, because you know as well as I do in the NFL, and you guys may not understand this. Everything's on time. You got if you're going to practice, we got periods, so 5 minutes. You periods are 5 minutes, so you got to get as much as you can in 5 minutes. But you don't get
you talking about the practice periods? Absolutely. Yes. So you install everything, but then you go back and take a subset of that and say, okay, I installed everything, but we're going to go back to 101, right? We'll take a quarter of the playbook, and for the first 4 to 6 games, this is what we have to master. We have to master the run concepts. We have to master the blocking schemes. We have to master everything off play action. We have to master the short to intermediate passing game. And I'll throw about 25% of the intermediate to deep game in there and let you rock with that. Here's the thing that I want to acknowledge about what Illini McGee says right here. Right. This is what, and I said this last show, this is something I'm never going to do again coming out of the Civil War. I will never underestimate the power of politics in professional sports or football ever again. So I'll actually give you credit for this one, McGee. His will be forced. I will not underestimate that, but you got to understand cause and effect, right? If Shane Waldron's hand is forced to put Rome on the field because Rome was the 8th overall pick, 9th, right? Then my question, because I've learned that good teachers don't give good information; they ask great questions. My question is, who's coming off the field, and how is that going to see if everything is centered around Caleb and Caleb's success, and then we say we force Rome onto the field. Then we're going to be in probably 11 personnel, or we're going to be in 21 personnel with Rome and DJ out there. So Keenan is not going to get reps now. Remember, Keenan is going to be a safety net for Caleb in breaking down coverages. Keenan has to be out there because Keenan and DJ are the 2 guys that have the most experience in walking up to the line of scrimmage and saying, oh, yeah, they're in cover 2 zone. They're in quarters coverage right now. Oh, they're showing 2 high safety, but they're actually in cover 3. They're in cover 3 match. Keenan is the one guy that has enough experience. And Ryan Post said this himself. Keenan is the guy, based off of what he did for Justin Herbert, that becomes the separator from him. Hey, Cam, I see what you're saying. Fullback, 21 personnel. This is why I say y'all got to tune into Chicago Bears 360 with Coach T. The fullback was never on the field.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
The fullback, 21 personnel. Now, if you heard me say 22 personnel, the fullback would have been on the field. The fullback was never on the field in this scenario. This is why y'all got to tune in. Yeah, what happens with Keenan then, right? What happens with Keenan, you got to keep in mind, Keenan off the field increases the exposure to Caleb's inexperience, is what I'm saying. So what happens, right? I hope y'all tracking with me, right? There's a math issue right now, right? So if one's on the field, somebody's going to be off the field. I see your question, V-Dog. I saw that, and I had a simple answer for you. I did a quick breakdown on the passing game coordinator and where his background, all that stuff, but off topic, off head right now, I don't know. I know he did some offensive coordinator in Carolina for a specific time period. He was unsuccessful, but he does come from a similar tree as Shane Waldron, kind of comes out of the McVay camp, so to speak. He's an up-and-coming McVay disciple, but he probably needs to go back in the oven for a little bit right now, which is probably a great scenario for him because he gets to sit behind Shane and learn for a little bit more. But he took over a little bit in Carolina after what's your boy name that was at Carolina that was pretty that one Frank, and he's not right. He wasn't good. Yeah, Frank Wright, he wasn't good. So, but I want y'all to understand the nuance of football, the conflict there is with what we have to do versus the politics that come into play with Rome Odunze now being a top 10 pick and fans wanting to see him on the field. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you 22. I will give you 23.1 million reasons why Keenan Allen's going to be on the field more than Rome Odunze. They've already given. He already got $5 million. He had a $5 million bonus. 18 more million reasons I got for you, Elena McGee. I understand what you're saying. He doesn't need more rest as injury risk. Just stop that. That's nonsense. He had 1,200 yards last year. All right, he's not going anywhere. He's, it doesn't injuries. Injury is that you can't say that because it can happen to anybody.
This is what I'm saying. Fans have to decide what they want, right? Because do you want to see your top 10 wide receiver pick, and y'all want to see the headlines of, Caleb to Rome Odunze for X amount of touchdowns, or do you want to see us play smart football and put Caleb in the best situation to win? Because having Rome on the field more than Keenan does not bode well for Caleb Williams. I'm just telling y'all right now. You don't want to believe me? You don't have to. But having Rome on the field, Sean, you tell me if I'm wrong, bro.
Nope.
Having Rome on the field more than Keenan early on in this offense does not bode well for Caleb. Caleb needs somebody that can walk up and say, he actually needs two guys that can walk up and be like, hey, when you see me rub my thigh, they cover zone. When you see me grab my nuts, they ain't cover two man. He needs, you know what I'm saying? He needs somebody that can give him a cheat code to what's happening with the defenses and coverages that can help him read coverages early on. Because y'all heard Patrick Mahomes say, hey, I learned how to read coverages into year 3, year 4. That's Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce going up there doing that work for him. He knows how to be able to, so here, let me give you an example. Let me give y'all a real football X&O's example. How do you know when, if they're showing, let me make sure I get this scenario right. If they're showing too high safety, that they're actually going to an odd number coverage? How do you know when they're going to spin the safety down in the box? They're showing too high, but the defense is, they already call a defense, they're going to spin the safety down in the box. How do you know that? That's what we mean by reading coverages that these quarterbacks come into the league not knowing how to do. They don't know how to understand the details. And it'll give you the answer to the question. It has to do with your relationship to the hashes, right? As the safety, the spinning safety Say they're showing two high safety. They're showing you two zone, two, right? Those two back safeties have what? They have deep halves. They have the half of the field cut in half. If one of those safeties is going to spin down in the box, he's going to line up in relation to the halves differently than he would if he's spinning down in the box. And that's what these receivers and tight ends who have experience in the game, the details, the nuances, allow you to be able to do. And so having two guys out there, DJ, right, and Keenan, who know the pro game, who also understanding this too, the hashes in the pro game are different than college. So they know landmarkers different too. So Rome is not necessarily experiencing that. And if you have Rome out there, you have 11 personnel. I want to see the kid go off too. I do. But if you have them out there, that's one less person that can say, hey, when I rub my thigh, that's two zone. They stand there. True. That's a true two high coverage. When I grab my nuts, they probably spinning a guy down in the gap. Just throw the ball to me. I'm going to beat my man. It's probably man coverage. Just throw the ball to me.
Yeah. And Caleb's got to do a better job. I mean, he's got to be in the film room. And here's where he also has to rely on those pros and say, okay, this defensive coordinator, here's what they do. All right, I played him a lot in this. I played him, DJ, I played him a lot when I was in Carolina, or Keenan Allen, I played him a lot when I was with the Chargers. All right, when they like to watch their alignment. All right, watch their alignment. Because most people they'll come around late, but they'll start their alignment. They won't be even. There won't be 12 yards even. One will maybe be 10.
Yeah.
Or even
one to be a little bit offset a little bit. Yeah.
If you see that, now you're like, okay, now that's a tell. Doesn't mean that's an indication that it might be, because they might just do that and fall back as well. So you have to be ready.
Fainting, right.
Yeah. So I have to understand.
Might be ghosting a little bit.
Here it is. I got to cover two or cover two or cover one. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. If it's a cover two, if I see that guy coming down, I know it's cover one. So now I know where my read is initially for a cover one. And if he stays back, well, now I know where I'm intending to attack on a cover two in the soft spot. So that's the quick. As soon as he's able to understand that and understand disguises and figure out disguises quickly. I don't think three wides and one tight end, one running back will be the best. Truthfully, the line that makes me, I don't.
I love the football conversation. I love that part of the conversation though. Both Cam and Max say they three wide receivers are going to be our best formation, or we should be in three wide receiver sets. Oh, okay. Here's the caveat to that. And I don't disagree, but I'll just add something on, an asterisk to it. If we do that, we better be able to run the ball out of 11 personnel. We can't just run the ball. We better be dominant out of it, because if we're in more 11 than 21 personnel early, I don't expect us to have.
And here's the problem. Here's the problem with what I'm reading the comments. Like, how do you know he's not using things properly? Like you know what I mean? Like the first 6 games, one or two different personnels packages might be better than in week 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right. You can't say he's not using them properly, because again, football is chess. It is not checkers. So you win the first game, you don't think, okay, we're going to the Super Bowl right away. No, you have to develop. You got to get chemistry. There's a lot of other things. And we talked about, there's something that you have to understand, that when you get the basics down, which is why I told them, which is why I keep saying, Caleb run the ball deep. Run the ball consistently and hit and master that short to intermediate game, because it opens up so much. Because you know what, people, now you as a defensive back in week 15, 16, 17, now you don't know if that slant's going to be a sluggo or not. So you got to be honest. Yeah. So you can't say using properly, because what if you're able to bring Keenan or Roman a little later, okay, or not as much, because everyone's DJ has a phenomenal game. Keenan has.
Oh,
a
you're
phenomenal
ahead of
game.
you're ahead of me in the comments.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we'll get to that. So she said if Shane doesn't run three wide receiver primarily, isn't using the weapons properly.
Right.
I'm with Sean on that. I don't think I agree with you on that one. I like the football conversation, Matt. I do, but
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to this one. Because I probably disagree with you on this. This formation that will scare DC's the most is DJ, Keenan, Rome, Komet, Swift. Maybe towards the end of our season, I'll agree with you. But early on, this formation is not scaring me as a defensive coordinator. Because what you're telling me is you've mastered the intermediate to deep game for that to scare me. And that's not scaring me early on. The other stuff would scare me early on. What's going to scare you early on is we come out in 22 and 21 personnel. That would scare you early on. But if you come out this is what I was telling y'all last season about the biggest mistake that he made. Luke Getsy came out because we, quote unquote, air quotes, had all these new weapons and decided, oh man, I got all these new weapons. It's Madden now. We're going to throw the ball all over the park at the beginning of the season. Keep in mind where your chemistry, remember, I'm the offensive coordinator, where your chemistry is the worst, your timing is the worst, right? Is at the beginning of the season. Everything is not clicking. It's not a fine-tuned engine yet. It's not. This would be a great when we get halfway through the season, 3/4 way through the season, towards the end, I would agree with you, but not in the beginning.
You come out of that break and you start running that. I'd be a lot more amenable.
Come out of the bye, come out of the bye,
yeah. And you got Washington, the three crappy teams: Washington, Arizona, and New England. And you want to start working it with those at that point, cool. But you have to build this. What guys don't understand is you're building an offense, and you have to have a base. It doesn't matter what you're building, what you're constructing, what you're putting together. The base of whatever you're trying to construct has to be solid. Your base is solid, man. Then you can start doing all the other stuff. Don't put the cart before the horse and 50-yard touchdown passes and all. Don't worry about it. The beginning, it's everything in the beginning is always long and boring and tedious. All right.
Yeah.
Think about when you start a job. What do you got to do? You got to go fill out HR. You got to do this. You got to figure out routes to house. What am I do for this? You got to figure all that stuff out. It's a big pain in the ass. But a year in, 2 years in, you ain't got to fill out HR papers anymore. All right. You're done. You did that last year when you first started. You know the routes to work. You know where you're going to eat. You know everything is all a lot smoother. And that's the thing that we got to get. We got to get all the boring crap out of the way. The foundation built.
Get the foundational stuff in first. Get the foundation. Get the part where, like I said earlier, where we can line up and run the ball where we win and where we want to, how we want to get that built first. But here's a more nuanced question there. And I love the discussion, guys. So if we're going back and forth, don't think it's contentious or anything. This is a football conversation. I love these kind of conversations versus the other kind of sometimes BS that happens. You know what I'm saying? I love football X's and O's conversations. Here's a very good question, I think, for V-Dog as far as the nuance. He says, hey, Coach and Sean, how would Warren, if you're Warren and Ryan, do you make Rome? First of all, we got it's coach. Hopefully, Coach Eberflus and Shane are making the call here, not Warren and Ryan. But do you make Rome the second target opposite of DJ because of experience? But I think what he's asking here is, where do you line up? Where do you put people? Right? Who's the X? Who's the Y? Who's the Z? Right? And I'll let Sean go first, and then I'll my 2 cents on where I think offensive football is headed.
No, I'm not putting that on Rome at all. All right. Why would I put that on Rome when he's on a contract for 4 years? He's going to be here. I don't need Rome. I don't need Rome to play to save this franchise. All right. So you put him in it. And here's a great part.
He's talking about in the 3 wide receiver sets.
Right. So
yeah.
I put Rome initially. I put Rome at the slot. All right, and here's why. All right, if you're in man coverage, all right, who's your number one cornerback going to?
Yeah,
Got to be DJ. Who's your
Yep.
number 2 cornerback going to? Ain't gonna be Rome. It's got to be Keenan. Keenan's getting a nickel back. He's getting the third best cornerback on the team, at best. Because what if the second cornerback's hurt down the road? Now the nickel's got to go out. Now you got to bring in the fourth to play 3. So now you're getting Keenan. Now you're getting Rome Odunze again, who's been going against number 1 cornerbacks for the last couple of seasons, and now you got him on a nickel back. Okay. I also think depending on matchup.
I want to go back to that real fast. I want to spend some time on that, Jay. Go ahead. I don't think you make him the second target. Okay. I think because there's no way you can shade one way or the other. You can't shade on DJ because then Keenan will kill you. Can't shade on Keenan because DJ will kill you. So I think the most important thing, you want success with this offense. So I'm not saying you can't have success. Let me throw the 2 Pro Bowl receivers. Let me throw 2 Pro Bowl receivers. All right. I think that will help him develop. You have the next 3 years to depending on what Keenan does, to develop that chemistry, really good chemistry with Rome. All right. Yeah.
I put Rome at the slot, have him moving. Man, you imagine? I mean, you can put any of them in the slot, truth be told, and get them. Can you imagine trying to get a jam off a slot? And DJ's built like a brick house. I don't want to get all crazy. Keenan's 6'5", all right. Rome's 6'3". So try and get a good jam on them. I just don't think I'm not going to ask a rookie wide receiver when I got 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers, all right, to be my second target. No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, Sean, and I think we're saying the similar things, but we're saying probably different. I think initially you would think, let's put them in the slot because you know what I'm saying, my rookie receiver versus their third best cornerback. In 11 personnel, of course, the defense is going to go to reduce the personnel time, right? So the third best cornerback, their third best cornerback off the bench, they're probably going to line up. But where I believe offenses are going is away from traditional talk of X, Y, and Z. They're only doing that by label only. But if you're a good quarterback, a good coordinator, you're playing find the fish. In your game plan during that week, in the fish, and we're cooking. That's all right. So if the fish is at number 2, we cooking the fish at number 2. If I have to put Rome at the X some weeks as a decoy just to tie up their best cornerback so DJ can work underneath and cook in the slot, then that's what I'm doing that week. So in that sense, you're playing 3-card money. Yeah, I'm playing 3-card money in my position. I'm finding the best matchup that week, and I'm hiding that guy. I'm because a lot less of these cornerbacks are traveling these days, right? And you heard not Coach Drake. It might have been Coach Drake. It was a defensive backs coach that we had last year. His description of why Jalen Johnson doesn't travel was great. That he gave Herb Howard last year, and it says, "Listen, we're not traveling cornerbacks anymore because." Traveling away coverages now, right? So if I travel, you know what I'm saying? If I travel, think about it. It's almost like playing the quarterback position at cornerback. The more I travel, the more coverages I got to know. So, you know what I'm saying? I got to know cover 2 zone from position. So say
right side
Jalen
and the
Johnson
left side, it's like a muscle memory too.
You got to know. Yeah, you got to know it from the right side. Or say, for instance, if Jalen travel, he ended up in the slot. Okay. If Jalen ended up in the slot, think about what Kyler Gordon does for our defense now. Kyler plays in the box a lot. So you're going to take your high-paid cornerback, your CB1, and start running them down in the box like that to play. He's gonna be what they call he's going to seal off the backside edge. He's going to be contained in the run game now. And you just with a bad shoulder, you gonna write that check. You know what I'm saying? You go put that. Nah, bruh. So same thing. I think you play 3-card Monty with him. You in your game plan that week, you find the fish and say, hey, this is what we like. We like this person. We like Keenan versus, and you exploit week in, week out. again, but you start with DJ, Keenan, and then Rome. You know what I'm saying? Similar with Caleb. Rome, we gonna pick a week on the schedule and say, hey, Rome, we're gonna let you go off this week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We like you versus this cornerback. We're gonna let you snap this week. It's Washington week. They got a fish. They CB3 is a fish. We're gonna go out there and get them, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. So I don't know if that answered your question, but I love conversation, by the way. I love it. Agree, disagree. I love it. This is a better conversation to me. Say to nobody than, you know what I'm saying, the macro level stuff. Did we hit this one right here? Yeah. Oh, he already asked that question.
Yeah.
Would you make opposite of DJ because of his quickness and size and all out? I would listen. This is what I would do it wrong. I would make sure whatever we did, and when we got in our goal line package or near goal line package, that I made sure that I included him in goal line packages of special circumstances that allow him to get vertical and get the ball versus a fish. Because his catch radius, his contested ball catching stuff is out of this world. So not necessarily stuff, but situations where we can take shots, say 10, 15, that I need him to get vertical. Because you remember, as you get close to the line, as you get close to the goal line, that's to work with, right?
Oh,
so
he's got a 39-inch vertical. His ass better be in there. He's 6'3" with a 39-inch vertical. His ass better for the 40-yard line in, he's in. All right, for you know what I'm saying, for the most part, unless you're planning on running. But even at that point, when you're throwing, he's 6'3" with a bird dog, and then you got 6'5" Keenan Allen. Come on, man. That's where the basketball team comes in. You know, that's where the basketball team comes in. Cole Kmet 6'5". You know what I mean? Like you gotta just outsize people down there.
Yeah. No, I agree with you right here too, Cam. Shane does want to run a lot of personnel, but you got to keep in mind he had a veteran quarterback. He had Geno back there. And this is, listen, I get you. I get what y'all saying, but it's different. Team year over year. This is also, I want to point this out too. This is also, I call into question, I call accountability to the defense and Matt Eberflus. This team, this is a different football team than it was. You know this as well as I do, Sean. The football team that was last year, forget about them. What that team did last year, those 7 wins that team got last year, I think it was 7 wins, forget about it. This is a different football team. Football is year to year. Last year, even though you have similar players, listen to what I'm saying. This is a different football team. The collection of players, how they come together, how they gel personally, communicate, relationship, how they care about each other, the soft skills related to them being a football is different. It could be 1 or 2 different people come in the locker room and change the whole locker room dynamic and make this team the what's the word I'm looking for? The idea of teamwork, team concepts, working together can make that totally different and have something totally different. This team, because Shane Waldron is new, the passing game coordinator is new, the quarterback's coach is new. It's different people in the building. So, you know, the dynamic is different. So there's no guarantee that anything can be the same, including this defense. On paper, they should be this. But I've had seasons where on paper, we should be this. A defense should be the strength of our team. And then turns out our defense turned out to be ass. Come out the season to start the season, and it's like a damn track meet. They running up and down the field so much on us. And we're like, well, we'll have a top division, top conference defense. Well, because y'all didn't work as hard, because y'all don't care about each other, because y'all don't love each other as you know, brothers in that locker room. Because, you know, a bunch of I's, not enough we's or me's, too many me's. It's a whole different thing. So I'm just saying, just something to be. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm just saying Be careful. I want them to be great, but I manage expectation. My man J2K in the building. Sean, you take this one.
Rome will be facing a great matchup against third DB. Waldron runs so much 13 personnel that Rome won't have enough targets to fill the hype and get the amount of receptions some think. No, I could see that. But I also can see you guys. And it might not be the targets. It might be just the big plays. He might not have a lot of targets. All of his. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, let's take J2K's statement a little bit deeper. Your first personnel grouping, Sean, what's that? What's the first personnel grouping? What's your dominant personnel grouping early on to start the season? What's that?
It might be 12 personnel.
You going two backs, one tight end?
No. Yeah, no, 12. One running back, two tight ends.
You got it flipped.
It's always RB. It's
yeah. No, my bad. You going 12 personnel.
Yeah,
yeah. My bad. I'm the dyslexic one here. I'm the dyslexic one here. All right, so you going 12. You going 12 to start the season. Then what?
Then 11. 12 and 11. Those will be my first two. Those will be my first two. I want to run the ball. And if you don't want to run the ball, you still got a third receiver in Cole Kmet or Everett, Gerald Everett. So you still got three receivers. You got four receivers in net if you want. You know what I mean? So I like it because both tight ends can do something when they get the ball.
Yeah. No, I like it. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. After I got myself unscrewed.
We didn't even talk about that before the show.
No, we didn't. But I know I'm there with you. After I got myself unscrewed, dyslexic wise, 12 first, 11 third, then I don't know. I like physical football. I'm going 13 next. I like old school football. I like beating people.
You son of a gun. Don't you threaten me.
I like beating the hell out of people. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about fantasy stats. You know what I'm saying? I like beating the hell out of people. So
I want one stat.
Yeah, 12, 11.
W.
Yeah.
Give me the W. That's the only stat I care about.
Exactly. Nah, but it opens J2K's comments open up a good conversation. Yeah, Rome facing great matchup. 3 DBs. Waldron runs so much 13, which is he runs 11 and 13 a lot more. He probably runs more 13 personnel than anybody else. Probably the next guy after him up there with him, Kyle. I see Kyle definitely loves 12.
So J2K he's got the thing wrong because I think he means 3 wide receivers. So if that's the thing, and I think you're talking about 11 personnel. Because when you're talking about personnel, is running back the numbers.
You count from the back for him.
First,
yeah.
That's the first number.
Y'all messing up my math, man.
Digit is tight ends. So if you're saying
y'all messing up my football, man.
One running back and 3 tight ends, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with.
That's where I might have got it flipped in my head. I'm counting from the line of scrimmage back. Either way, y'all know what we're talking about. Yeah. What else we doing? This conversation got hot, got good, fast, man. When y'all start talking about the schematic stuff, it's fun. That other, like I said, man, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Apologize. Let's see. What else you got for us?
Sure. So he was sure that J2K was right, but I didn't know if he meant 13 personnel. If he meant 3 tight ends. But you also have to realize do you need to if he needs to run? And that's the thing I liked about Shane Waldron is you run what you got to run. You deal with what the talent that you have. So yeah, he likes to run.
You're gonna have to watch this on. You're gonna have to watch this on the playback, Big Bear. We already tackled that. You play 3-card Monty with him, man. You put that guy out. I won't run to get off too. I'll pause. No Diddy, whatever. I just listen. We gotta win, man. This is what we do here, though. We try to have the conversations to help the fans, manage expectation. If you're not seeing what you don't see and you think, oh, this is the reason why, and why is it Rome on the field? Or why isn't this happening? Why is that? We try to have the answers before they happen. That's what we're trying to do. V-Dog said, Coach Flu's hands tied. What am I saying? All three. Kevin Ryan has a great working relationship with others, saying, hey, listen, this is what I'm expecting. I know where you're going with this. I don't discount the politics, but hopefully once the season starts, these guys are up in their office. Ryan is still trying to get deals done during the middle of the season that'll benefit this roster, making sure he's keeping track of the free agent wire and the practice squad wire and all this other. And Warren needs to be somewhere getting this damn stadium built. That's what he need to be doing. He need to get out of Flu's business.
Roster now. No, and you know what? The truth be told, that the only thing that Coach Eberflus needs to have input on is 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. All right, because you got to have all that stuff settled. Shane needs to be running this offense, all right, from Jump Street. Now you can have that conversation during the week. Say, here's what I want you to run, but I don't want an offensive coordinator who's being told what to do in the middle of a game. All right.
Let me skip down to what our producer Julius reminded us too. Remember this. Y'all remember this. Y'all remember Jackson Smith Njigba. Is that how you pronounce the name?
Njigba.
I got Njigba because he was wide receiver 3. Yep. Trying to get off that bench. It ain't that Shane was garbage. It was like, hey, Shane gonna call with it. This is what you can take from that. Shane's gonna do what he has to do to win the football game because he doesn't care about who's gonna get pissed off, who not getting playing time. He's not gonna bow to the peer pressure of, oh yeah, I'm a top wide receiver pick. Hey, this is how we need to win. Play your part. Hey, know your role and shut your mouth.
Know your role, jabroni, and shut your mouth.
I do JDK.
You're right. I love how interchangeable they are. But later in the comments, the offensive line was bad. So you can't have 3 wide receivers, have a quarterback go back there and expect to hit a receiver when he's on his ass. You can't do that. You can't throw from your ass. You can't do that.
Listen, I would love to sit here and talk schematics with y'all all day long. I didn't plan on doing nothing but an hour-long program, but y'all got in the football. It got juicy. But I got to go spend some time with the wife, and she looked way better than any of you clowns. Anyway, let's get one more here. I love y'all, man. I love the football talk. This is good stuff. What up, Coach? Quick question. My man Bach in the building. Question about Nate Davis, man, and Shelton and Carter, Ryan Bates. Let the best man win, man. Kept hearing Shelton Carter and Ryan Bates.
Listen, if they're putting Ryan Bates at right guard, no. If Nate's out, you move Tevin to the right and leave it at that. And now you have a power side. God bless it well. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and you go 13 personnel or 22 personnel or hell 23 personnel. All right, you know exactly where that ball's going. Right side, strong side, right side, strong side. Behind Tevin and Darnell Wright. Oh yeah. I'm old enough to remember when we had Tevin Jenkins and Darnell Wright on the same side of the line of scrimmage, and we were loving it. Man.
Listen, Sean, man, I appreciate you doing this last minute early this morning. You owed me one anyway.
I did.
This is my guy, man. This is my guy. I always love talking football with my guy, Sean. Y'all know what to do, man. Listen, we'll be back Sunday with the entire crew, the mod squad, the hit squad on Sunday at 11 Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Central, just talking Bears football. We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep the party going as we roll through camp. Y'all know what's going on. Keep y'all updated as well as what's happening. This is where we are right now. Of course, the rookies there. We got Caleb signed. We got Rome signed. Great. After that, by the way, got to give Caleb and his shout out. They were trying to do, creative stuff, that situation. They were trying to be pioneers in that, right? I let them that. Handle your business, young bull. You do what you got. So if that was Pops, if that was Caleb, that was his lawyer, y'all do what y'all got to do. Y'all blaze trails, do whatever you got to do. 1 August, of course, Hall of Fame game. A lot of y'all going to be up there. Take plenty of pictures. I think it should be good. Temper expectation. I just good game time operation, Sean. I don't want to see nothing crazy. Look, just get in and out of the huddle, call a play, bunch of false starts and all that. It's gonna be the end all be all for me.
So let me ask you a question, Coach, before we bounce.
All right.
How long do you play Caleb in each preseason game?
Man. I don't know. That's tough, man, because he can't get hurt. Because he get hurt, and Armageddon 3000 in Chicago.
What if you get hurt week 1? What if you get hurt week 1?
Yeah, it's gonna
be that guy Aaron something rather get hurt week 1 with the Jets.
I think it's different if he gets hurt during the regular season versus if he gets hurt in the preseason game. I give him a couple things, man. Just listen again. Offensive coordinator, pros. If I was Shane, if I'm Kerry, I just want to see you're handling game time operations. Okay, also the play. I want to know if, can I call a play through the headsets? I don't know if Shane's going to be on the field up in the booth. Can I call a play? Can you recite the play and get the team lined up? And can we do that for 2 series and get them out of there? How do you feel? How are we communicating through the headset? Because the game time operations is a whole deal. It's not, it's not Madden. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It sometimes can be tricky. It can be hard. The simple things. So that's it, man. Give him a couple series, get him out of there. I don't care about it. I don't care if he throws for. I don't care if he throws for negative 10 yards. If we don't have any false start penalties during that Hall of Fame game, I would have said it would have been successful. That's just me.
Bro, I'm telling you, me and you are on opposite sides of the fence, way opposite sides. I'm like, give him a half. Minimum quarter and a half. And I want first 2 quarters. And you got that extra game. You got the Hall of Fame game. Man, give him minimum a quarter and a half.
I'm giving them that. I'm giving them that for what's that? What's the last preseason game? That's what I do that for. I do that for Cincinnati. Ramp them up.
There's one more preseason after that.
There's another one out there that's not showing. Oh, okay. Yeah. I
think so.
Now I'll ramp them up. 2 weeks, two drives here, 2 drives here, a quarter in Buffalo, 2 quarters in Cincinnati, 2.5 quarters in the last game. Assimilate them to the game slowly, man. No need to go crazy.
Chiefs.
So it's definitely that one.
Bills,
yeah,
Bengals and the Chiefs.
Give them the most action with that one. Listen, Sean, it's always fun, man. I got to get out of here, man. Always fun. Thank you for tapping in. If you watch this on the playback, do me a favor, man. Like, subscribe, share. Subscribe to the channel, man. We're gonna try and get over 4,000 subscribers. I got realistic but low but realistic expectations. I don't even know what number we're at right now. I usually do about 1,000 every year, so we're gonna try and get to it for myself. That's the Superback. Sean Sierra. You can find him on Sports Zone Chicago. I'll let you give out the rest of the socials, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Yeah, you can follow me at Sports Zone. Follow me personally at the Sean Sierra, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Follow Sports Zone Chicago on Facebook. Follow us on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate it. We also have a Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, feel free to download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right to your big screen. Watch us on the big screen, whole app, wherever you get your apps from. It doesn't matter where you get your apps from. Just go there, Sports Zone Chicago, download it, take it with you on the. And man, we give you good content. I'll be credentialed again this year, thank goodness. So I'll give you some locker room interviews and post-game stuff. And after that, we're trying to get stuff for training camp. So if I do get credentialed, I'll be there giving you videos and stuff like that. So follow Sports Zone Chicago.
Act like you got some damn sense this year in that reporting room too.
Man, I can't make any promises.
Also, man, we put them up. The maestro, the producer, Julius. They have a program. Give me your stuff, Julius, to your show. And then I want to plug my creative director as well, Mr. J2K Design.
I'm just on Twitter. You can follow me, sdizzle79 at Twitter. So that's pretty much really it right now. I haven't really been doing on my Instagram, but I'll add that eventually later on.
Plug the show too, y'all show.
Oh yeah, and then I'm on with Elise, who came on with us. AJ, we did Faircat Sports Show on Mondays at 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern for those who need to know the time. So, yeah, appreciate y'all.
That's what's up. We get out of here. Then also, man, I gotta get a huge shout out to my creative director. Guy that's responsible for all the stuff y'all seeing right here, all the backdrops, all the graphics, all the lower thirds. That man, Mr. J2K Designs himself, the best in the business, bar none. He got some hot product coming y'all way. I've been pushing him to do some stuff, man. I hope he go ahead and do it on the business side, because my instincts on the business end is usually right, man. But go ahead and do that thing, J2K. He's the greatest in the business, man. He's the source behind a lot of product that y'all see, a lot of creative designs for my show. Also, Nomad Network. I see Brian in the comments showing everybody love, man. I'm gonna see y'all Sunday, man. Y'all tap in. This was a great show, man. Let me go get to my fine wife, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't seen her all day. I'll see y'all when I'm in the city. We'll link up soon, Sean. We'll talk.
Looking forward to
I'll catch y'all next time. Bear down.